Hello friends, music lovers, Wes here checking in with another edition of the Vinyl Survivor. This is where I talk about 5 albums that were new to my ears that I pulled from my inbox, give them a listen, and I'm going to let you know what I thought of each one and whether they're going to be something that's going to be staying in the collection back there or something that just didn't suit me at all, and just talk about each one, let you know what I thought. So let's go ahead and get into it. First album I have here is an album from 1983 from the guitarist Leo Kottke. It's titled Time Step. The first of 2 albums he did with T-Bone Burnett. So this does have sort of a country, more of a country vibe than you are used to hearing from Leo Kottke, but it's good country sound. I mean, it's right on the sort of the end of the good country era where things started to go pop, but this is still definitely more of a nice country sound. And you got Emmylou Harris appears on here. Let's see who else. Albert Lee is on here. And Leo Kottke, if you haven't listened to his music before, is just an amazing finger-picking guitarist. If you want to hear just an amazing acoustic guitarist, Leo Kottke is your guy. Just awesome stuff here. So I really enjoyed this, enjoyed listening to it, and I really enjoyed Leo Kottke for the most part. And this is on Chrysalis Records. I believe this is the last album he did with Chrysalis Records. And we have TML-M in the dead wax, so that means it was cut on the master lathe at the mastering lab. I don't see any kind of inscription as far as who did the mastering, so not sure about that. But a good sounding album, as I said. It's 80s. It has that very clean, crisp, sterile, almost 80s sound to it. But just some good country, and I like country from the early 80s, and it's interesting to hear Leo Kottke do something that's a little more country than what he usually does. So Leo Kottke's Time Step, that one's going to be staying in the collection. Okay, next up, moving on to the jazz scene. Got an album here from Ahmad Jamal. This is titled The Piano Scene of Ahmad Jamal from 1959. Don't rarely get into the 50s in my collection, or this one just barely sneaks into the 50s era, and Ahmad Jamal is just an amazing jazz pianist. Love hearing his albums, and just always interesting to hear. I thought this was going to be an excellent copy of this album because the sleeve itself looks wonderful. The record itself looks okay. Unfortunately, when you put this on the turntable, it just crackles and pops as bad as an old AM station that's barely coming in. It's that bad. It's just, I don't know what happened to it. Beautiful yellow and black epic label. I was hopeful for this one. Sounds like it's a great album, but unfortunately it's just so poppy and crackly that I can't possibly listen to this. I'm probably going to hang on to it, put it out in the garage for a while in case I find another pressing of this that maybe needs a better cover, because this cover is beautiful. So yeah, I can't really say much about the music on here. It's very much from that era, late 50s, early 60s jazz piano work. Ahmad Jamal always plays with a lot of emotion, a lot of heart, and I love his music. So I'm disappointed that this is not good enough to keep, but I'm hopeful to find another copy of this at some point. So that's The Piano Scene of Ahmad Jamal. Alright, next up we have the 8th studio album from the band The Fifth Dimension. Fifth Dimension are a R&B, soul, pop sort of singing group, vocal group. This is their 8th album from 1972, titled Individually and Collectively. Don't know if I said that already. And this is sort of the beginning of the end for The Fifth Dimension. This is definitely takes a downturn from their earlier work, in my opinion. It was not easy for me to pay attention to this. This just sounded kind of like background music to me. It lacked a lot of emotion, I would say. It does have a pretty neat artwork style, how this sort of folds up like this and then it folds down here, and then the record is in the sleeve in here. Interesting packaging, but Yeah, as I said, the music just is not so great. You got a cover of Last Night I Didn't Get to Sleep at All, a cover of Elton John's Border Song. It's a lot of covers, and there's not a whole lot of emotion in these tracks, I would say. And this is on Bell Records with the silver and black label. Pretty neat label. We do have the artisan stamp in the dead wax, the drum with the two drumsticks. That's where that was done at. But yeah, this is the beginning of the end. The starting with this one and after, their music is just doesn't do much for me, I guess. So unfortunately, this is another one that's not going to be staying in the collection. Fifth Dimension, individually and collectively, not so good. So don't recommend that one. Alright, the next thing we have to talk about is a compilation from Leo Kottke. This is from 1978, so this is before the album we just talked about a minute ago. This is titled Leo Kottke The Best. 2 LP set on Epic Records, or I'm sorry, not Epic Records, capital EMI. There's a little bit of a history on him and his guitar playing and whatnot. And there's a 12-string there. It's like a 6-string here. Just like as I said before, an acoustic guitar virtuoso, basically. So this is broken down into 4 sides. You have the first side is acoustic, the second side is electric, the third side is a live performance, and then the fourth side has some vocal songs. I like Leo Kottke the least as a vocalist. His vocals were pretty good on the Time Step album that we just talked about before. I think his voice fits well with a country style, but for more of a folky kind of style, it doesn't seem to work for me as well. But yeah, this is a really cool compilation. I'm looking for an upgrade copy. As you see, I got some water damage on this one here, and this is on the Capitol Purple and Silver label. Another label I really like. So yeah, really nice compilation. If you want to find out what Leo Kottke is all about, this is great. This sort of breaks down the different aspects of his work, and you get a little bit of acoustic, a little bit of electric, a little bit of live, and a little bit of vocal performance, and just a good little compilation here. And I really enjoy this. A really good lineup of songs on here, and really good variety, I think. So definitely recommend this one, Leo Kottke The Best. And this one is going to be staying in my collection until I can find an upgraded cover at least. Okay, so the last thing I have to talk about today, back to jazz, we have Grover Washington Jr. with Soulbox Volume 1. 1973 on this one. Was originally released as Soulbox, a 2 LP set. I believe I've already talked about Soulbox Volume 1 in the series. Just an awesome point in time in Grover Washington's discography. Very soulful, very funky. You got a lot of really great musicians playing on here. Bob James, Ron Carter, Billy Cobham, Idris Muhammad, Airto, Eric Gale, Hubert Laws. Sort of a who's who of jazz that's at the time, and this is on Kudu Records, which is part of CTI, so you get all those great CTI artists on here. 4 tracks on here. As with other Grover Washington Jr. albums, it seems like the second track on each side is the good track. The first side, you start off with You Are the Sunshine of My Life, a cover of that song, and then the second track is Don't Explain, which is just an incredible 11-minute almost jam session. And then on side 2 you got an Easy Livin' sort of medley kind of thing, and then the inside track is Tori and Matador, Billy Cobham's song. And just an awesome track. Yeah, as I said, on Kudu Records, a subsidiary of CTI Records. They put more of their funky kind of stuff on there, I guess. I think Grover Washington Jr. was kind of the headliner of that label. It says Van Gelder in the dead wax, so very nice mastering by Rudy Van Gelder. A great piece of funky, smooth, awesome jazz music, and I definitely thoroughly enjoy it. I definitely enjoy a lot of Grover Washington Jr.'s works, and I definitely like this Soul Box series. So a good series from him and some good albums. I recommend checking them out. So that's 5 more new albums. 3 of them made it this time. 2 of them didn't for various reasons. One was unplayable, and the other one just didn't strike me as good. But the rest are really good. Please check them out if you think you might be interested in them. So thanks for watching another episode of the Vinyl Survivor. Please subscribe. You'll be caught up with all the episodes coming up. And I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for watching. Cheers.